Hi guys, so if you follow my page, you know that I have some issues. There's a couple of things I talk about, depression and anxiety, because I take clonazepam, Wellbutrin, and Celexa, and I found out I was pregnant. And I just wanted to share my experience on getting off of those medications, because if you find out you're pregnant and you're taking these medications, everyone's worried about what's it going to do to the baby. How do I get off of it? How am I going to feel? And I just want to share my experience, because with my last pregnancy, I was only on Celexa, so it was different. It was one medicine. For 2, I tapered. With this one, I was on 3. I say 1. I was taking clonazepam in my first pregnancy too, or my last pregnancy too. It was Wellbutrin was the only difference. 2 antidepressants. So when I found out I was pregnant this time, I was right at 4 weeks, very early. And I decided right then and there that I wasn't going to take another thing, that was it. I wasn't going to taper. And, you know, the doctors recommend you taper because you go through points that are really, really low. And they say it makes it easier. But I'm going to be honest with you. When I tapered last time, I had a longer period of time that I was low. This time, stopping it abruptly, I would say the first couple of days I was fine. It was towards the end of the first week, I was low. And that lasted about 1 to 2 days. It was really bad, but it got it over with, and then I started to feel better. So for me, I would rather be that way personally than kind of stretch it out but not be as bad. Plus, I know, and this is why I stopped abruptly, in that first trimester, that is when these medications really have an effect on the developing fetus. And I just didn't want to take any risks in this baby not being okay, being on multiple antidepressants. And it's not something I wanted to do. So I made that decision on my own. I don't recommend you do anything without talking to your doctor, because I feel like every situation is different. Some people are worse than others, you know, what dose you're on, how high of a milligram, what your situation is, what your tendencies are. You know, I just know myself, and I knew what I was up against. And I went into it with the mindset that it's going to be tough. I have to stay strong, and I'm going to get through it for the baby. And I think that mindset's half the battle. If you can just keep that in mind, and then have the support of your friends or family, you know. And if you don't have that or anyone to talk to, you're not alone, because I don't really have any friends at all. And I did turn to family once, but what I did on my lowest of low days, when I said I don't want to be here anymore, in front of my 7-year-old, which I had to make that right, because they knew Mama was going to be emotional, but I regretted that happened. I sent them outside. I didn't talk, I didn't call anybody, and I didn't keep it in. I recorded, like I talked to my phone, like I'm talking to my phone right now, and got every emotion, everything that I was feeling or thinking. I just cried, and I poured it into a video, and then I watched it back 3 times. I cried. I just was so sad to even just watch myself. But in the weirdest of ways, I worked it out. Like that's how I worked it out. That's how I got through it. It sounds crazy, but you know, I watch it now and I'm just like, oh my goodness. So that's just my experience. Now I'm almost 8 weeks and I feel fine. I feel fine. You know, ultimately, like I said, everybody's going to be different, and I think it's something that you should talk to your doctor about, but don't be scared. If you're pregnant and you're on these medications, you're going to be okay. You know, your body is going through a lot of different hormonal changes, and when you add that in with this, it's a mess. But be strong and don't be scared, because you're going to be okay. You're doing what's best for your baby. And so I just wanted to throw what I went through out there, because it was a different experience than last time, and I don't regret stopping it immediately. I'm glad I did it that way, but I don't want to encourage anyone to do anything that could be harmful to themselves in the end. I think your doctor knows you best. My OBGYN does not know me best. I only see him for pregnancies, so you know, him wanting me to taper last time is probably the smart doctor recommended thing to say. But for me personally, I know me better. And like I said, I knew what I was getting myself into, and I think it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. But I guess always expect the worst, hope for the best, and get through it, and know that this isn't you. It's just what you're going through, and you can do anything if you put your mind to it. So, will I get back on these medications when I'm done with my pregnancy? That is a question I keep asking myself, because last time I said no, and then I was done with my pregnancy and even added an antidepressant to the bunch. Quality of life for me is not that much better when I'm on them. Yeah, it makes things a little bit easier, but it's not like, I don't know. I mean, in my last video that I did about how these medications are doing me, I was so confident that everything was great and this is the best thing for me. But now without them, seeing that I can do it without them, I'd rather do it without them if I can. And, you know, unless I'm having like thoughts of suicide or something like that. I mean, life is hard, but in the end, if you can get through it without it, get through it without it. I don't want to have to take a pill every day for the rest of my life. So I might see if I can do it without it. If I can do it for the baby for however many months, why not try and do it for me forever? You know, I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. Getting off topic. Just wanted to share my experience as far as being pregnant and being on these medications. You're strong. You got this. And if you're watching this video, if you searched this, if you're scared, I hope that this video might give you some advice or some encouragement or whatever. And I hope you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.